And click the, there we go.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Entrepreneur Power Hour. Today we have Carl, Rick and Cheryl, Chris, Marty, and Sarah, and we're talking about fear versus love. What happens when you make decisions from the heart, and what happens when you make decisions from your mind, and you're scared to do it. I used to make decisions out of fear, and it never worked out for me until I started making decisions from my heart. Now I started the show, I'm doing stuff in my band, and I'm helping other people. But don't just listen to me. Let's hear it, guys. Talk to me.
Okay. Well, for me right now, I would have to say that any decision I make because of what's going on with my wife, it's all going to come from love. And yeah, I am feeling quite scared because she's sick in the hospital right now. But I can't give up faith and hope. And you guys are all here for me. And there's a lot of love on this panel for everybody. And I just, that's where I'm at right now with that. And I know that the more I make decisions from a positive standpoint, it's going to help me feel better. And I don't want to be in a bad place, when I make choices in the next 24 hours. I'm just waiting to hear from her cousin telling me she got the blood transfusion, and then there's going to be a huge weight lifted off of me when that comes through. So that's pretty much the decision that I'm waiting on right now. It's been difficult, but I guess I just gotta keep thinking good thoughts and being happy. And yeah, somebody else go ahead, please.
You need to keep your positive vibrations up, Chris. That's going to help too. Okay, not giving you a hard time, but difficult as it might be, love that you're going through an emotion, fear that you're going through is an emotion, are very strong right now. And so we're all going to join together and send positive vibrations your way that it's all going to be all right. Because we love you.
I know, man.
We love you. And we want that fear to dissipate from you.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Carl, very much.
Yeah, thanks for that, Carl, because I was going through a crazy experience myself where I just lost one of my good friends, and me and Chris, and I'm like, I don't even want to do the show today, but I have to do the show because people are coming, people count on it, and I think when I really sat down and thought about it, I'm like, I could quit, but I really think he would have wanted me to keep going, to keep doing, to keep inspiring people, and I changed from listening to what was in my head to what was in my heart. And then I got on here, I started inviting people. I'm like, who else would be interested? And I just got excited about what I'm doing again. And it totally changed my perspective, and it's totally changing what's going on around me. Not in like a weird law of attraction type way, but just in the normal that I'm more motivated to do something, things around me change.
Yeah, and I agree, man. Like we knew we had to come on tonight and do this, and I phoned Kareem at like, I forget what time it was, and I was hysterical. I was crying, and I was just hysterical, and he was really, really awesome being there for me. And the minute I told him what was going on, he was looking up the symptoms of dengue fever and all that, and told me, Chris, she can't die. She's gonna, if she gets the blood she needs, she's gonna be okay. And so it's really great to have people like Kareem and Rick and Cheryl and Carl and this new lady Sarah who just joined us. And it's great to meet you as well. And this is how we are on this show, Sarah. Everybody's real. There's no business. I mean, yeah, we talk about business-related stuff, but a lot of it is really just about life and what we go through in life and what we're doing to become better people and to expand as entrepreneurs. And so this is a really unique thing that I've never seen anybody else doing on YouTube. And I think that you know, I want people to know they can come here and say whatever they want, and no matter how they're feeling, you know, they can talk to us about anything. So it's a place of healing as well, and love, not just business related stuff. So I hope that makes you feel better about being here, Sarah.
Yeah, I'm excited to be included in this.
Yeah, thanks. Go ahead, Rick and Cheryl.
I wanted to say something like one of the decisions that I made from the hardest to be on this show, and there's a lot of reasons, you know. Kareem and Chris, they're like brothers, and they take care of each other, and they have a lot of love, and their heart is just like right out there. So it's like I never really had someone another male like that in my life that I was like really tight with, and that, you know, I could laugh, I could cry, and I could just be myself. So it's really an inspiration. I mean, I have my wife obviously for 27 years, but I never really had a guy that I was that close to like that. So when I look at Kareem and I look at Chris, I'm really in admiration of them, the like the heart connection that they have, you know, because they're tight, man. So they've been through a lot together, and they're going through a lot more together, and they're going to make it in this world, whatever they want to do. So I have a lot of respect
Thanks,
for
Rick.
them.
I think that's when you, because like I have siblings and family members, but they're in other countries, so I don't talk to them. So it's basically just me here, so it can get kind of difficult. But I think talking to Chris and then realizing that, yeah, I'm going to go through with whatever, I'm going to become successful online, no matter what happens, and I keep working with that mindset. And that's the same thing I do when I'm playing my instrument. Even if my tuner doesn't work or something breaks on my guitar, which I just, you know, randomly, our singer just left in our band. So I said, the older me would have freaked out and said, oh man, we lost our singer. I'm going to freak out and run around and yell at him on Facebook. And now I said, okay, do what you have to do. And I just posted ads on Craigslist. I'm moving forward with the situation. So it's a whole different perspective I've been taking towards problem solving and just my life in general. Can I get your perspective on like some of what we talk about, Sarah?
And so what we talked about, yeah, I mean, just like what you mentioned is what I was kind of thinking about too, with this whole, you know, fear-based decision versus love-based decision, and how the big difference that I see from it is that a fear-based decision is reactive, and a love-based decision is proactive. And so it sounds like what you're doing now, with the anecdote that Kareem just put up with the band, is that it's a proactive decision rather than a reactive one. Of like reactive, very easy to just freak out and let it dissolve, but proactive is taking action with it. And I think that's the big difference that I see.
Yes, Sarah, that is the big difference. The big
Brilliant,
difference,
absolutely
big
brilliant.
difference is the big difference is when someone steps out there and they take the motivation, even though they are hurt, a wounded child, or whatever the case may be, but they still get right up and say, I'm coming on this show because I'm here for a reason, to inspire others. So no matter how low you are, Kareem, I my hat's off to you, sir. My hat's off to you, sir. And the same with you. You've got all the turmoil you're going through there, Chris. But you know what? You stood by your peep. You stood by the peep that love you the most. You know, and I love you, man. I love both of you. I wouldn't be here if I didn't. You know, love and pain become one and the same in the eyes of a wounded child, as I just said before. I've been wounded so much that pain is and hurt has overcame me. But you know what? It's getting back up, brushing yourself off, and say, we're going to do it again. This time we're going to do it better. And as far as I'm concerned, the blood will come available. If it needs be, it will come available. And the positive energy is flowing, because we're going to flow it.
Well, I just got a message saying that the doctor said she can't make it. Her platelets are getting negative even with the transfer from the bag of blood. So
We gotta keep the positive.
Yeah.
That's one thing I learned about being in the medical field is you can't really listen to the doctors too much.
Nah, don't believe anything they say, Chris.
I was positive for HIV, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, and tuberculosis. I told them to stick it. And you see me sitting here right now, and I've got hit by lightning twice. I got hit on the 52 stitches in the right temple, and I kept the same woman for 27
Yeah,
years.
and he's been married to me for 27 years, and he survived so far.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying
So
that.
far.
I'm just saying that they're not God, and they don't dictate everything just because they say her platelets are low and this, that, and the other thing. That doesn't mean anything to me.
No.
I'm not taking his word as gospel or whatever you want to call it. Because I've seen so many people get a death warrant and come into the operating room, and I've seen them walk out of there the same day because we won't allow it. It ain't their time. And those guys don't call the shots. They're not referees. That's just his opinion.
Yeah.
Actually,
Your opinion. So does Chris. I bet you Cream and everybody else does too. Carl does. He has a different opinion. You just heard his opinion. So
I used to. Oh, sorry, cutting you off.
Sorry, I'm sorry about that. You can cut me off. That's good.
I try and make sure traffic's flowing, but I used to have a lazy eye, and I had it since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I'm like, no. My parents said you're not operating on him, whatever. And okay, so I didn't. It was my dismay. I didn't really develop the social skills I had now, so I struggled, making some connections I wanted to, and I always blamed my lazy eye, even though it wasn't. But I was like, well, and then I went to a doctor, maybe in my teens. He's like, you waited too long. You can't fix it. There's no way it can be fixed. You have to live with the lazy eye. So what I did is I'm like, no, you're wrong. And I started doing eye exercises, and it got better. It got like a little bit more centered. Then I went to another doctor and said, hey, I have this lazy eye. They told me it can't be fixed. They told me I'm too old. He's like, that's BS. Let me get a thing for you, and I'll do a surgery. He fixed it. I walked out the next day. So I guess it just goes to show you, just because one person says no doesn't mean the end of the world. And sometimes when someone says no, just miraculously by keeping faith, even when something seems bleak, it can still turn around. I'm going to move my bird 1 second.
Nope.
so
Carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on. Got something to say? Carry on.
Yeah, and it is only one person's opinion, and that when it comes down to it, through anything, it comes up down to that individual themselves and how much they're going to fight for, whatever it is. And if the doctor says no, or this is, inoperable, or things like that, then if there's another way and you want to find it, you will.
Is it on?
Yes.
yeah, you're right, Sarah. Sorry guys, I'm just in a totally different headspace right now. But yeah, it is only one opinion. She's getting the blood. Her cousin just told me that, what did he say? Her platelets is negative now. Doctor said even she going through a transfer with her blood, she's still getting worse. I mean, this is looking pretty dire, but I don't know. I can't think anything negative right now. I can't even fathom that at the moment. It's just, oh man, this is rough. I didn't want to come on her show and do this, but whatever, I don't care. People will know how real we are if they watch this,
Yeah, I think it's making a decision saying I'm going to be positive about something if you truly believe in it, even if everybody else tells you it's hopeless. And that's really, in my opinion, the 1% of people who make a real change.
Yeah.
Now, I know that, you know, you're not really a God believer, but I would like to have her name so that I can pray for her, because I have an unmovable faith. I won't bend them, okay? Because I made that decision years ago. So before the show, I'd like to have her name, because I will move a mountain.
Yeah.
Power. I'm about. And that's just the way it is. That's what I do best. When people are saying that, when people are sitting there saying that, oh, you can't do it, I prove them wrong. Now, I'm not taking the glory, but I prove them wrong. I've got friends out there that say, oh, you'll never amount to anything. But you know what? It's not what I amount to. It's what I give out to others. What I give out to others. It's nothing to do with, you know, there's a receiving, there's a balance. And don't get me wrong. But I always like to give more than I receive anyways. It makes me feel like a better person. I
Yeah.
feel if I didn't give out the positive energies that I do give out, then people would look at me kind of strange, as if to say, you're not the same person. Like, I've talked to so many people I've talked to in the past. They say, you've lost your fight. I said, no, I haven't. I just diversified it and put it somewhere else to fight for others. That's the way I am. If someone came to me and they want a prayer said, I'm going to be the first one in line. Whether it's a universe from God that you believe in or however. You know,
Yeah.
you don't let, you move the mountain. And so she's getting the blood. That's the biggest part of it. Now we just have to take a hold.
Yeah, she is getting the blood, yeah.
So you got to be thankful of that. I am thankful of the blood being to her. That is one thing you have to be thankful.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes
I
down
love
to
you that much,
mindset.
bro, and I just can't see you hurt this much because I love you that much. It's like Kareem does. And I've known you a long time, even longer than Kareem, and I've seen you rise to the star. I've seen you rise to stardom,
I
and
know, man.
I see you headed for greatness.
Thanks. I know, Carl, and that's why we do this show, you know, because we want to give everybody a place where they can come and be who they are and not have to worry about, you know, any kind of judgment or any type of worrying about what their hair looks like that day or what kind of clothes they're wearing, you know, as long as they're not, you know, they don't look like a bum. It's you know, pretty much anything goes, and you know, I just want everyone to know that that's, you know, we do this so that people have a voice on YouTube for whatever they're involved with, that when they're, you know, to change their life and to change other people's lives, and it's, you know, a place where we talk about anything. It doesn't even have to be scripted. There's no real formula to this. We just get on here and we'll have an open discussion about whatever we choose the topic to be, and it's
Yeah.
just, yeah.
I think if you put a script or you were like really, really involved in telling people what to say, because we did questions before you guys were on here, and I would ask people interview stuff, and it was really weird, and people would get nervous. And I'm like, no, we need to have an open discussion. People say what they want to say, how they want to say it. And I've never seen anybody do that before. And like, yeah, I make ground rules. Don't bring up religion. Don't pick up politics. But other than that, speak your mind. Speak through love, not through fear of, oh, Kareem's going to say I can't say this or I can't say that. Because we were in a program where the mentor or the leader of that did that exact, you can't say this, you can't say that, here's how you have to say it. And Chrysler just joined us, so I want to say hi to Chrysler. And we're talking about fear versus love, so I'd love to hear from you and Sarah a little bit more about like how you made decisions from the heart and it's advanced your life.
So you say you're talking to me or Rick? Because he's on the screen right now.
You, Rick, Sarah, I'd love to hear from any of you guys. I know it's a little bit of a crazy, but you know,
Yeah, 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 yeah. As far as so we're talking about speaking love, out of motive of love, not out of a motive of fear. Is that what you're saying?
yeah, basically, like when you made decisions when you were happy from the heart, like you got an inspiration. I'm gonna go out and get this job, or I'm gonna go out and talk to
Oh,
this
yeah, go
person,
on.
or I'm in love with someone, I'm gonna go ask them, or whatever it is, and then things just worked out for you. I read in a book that love expands consciousness, fear closes it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's brilliant. I'm making a show on that, and I just made it, and I said, Chris, let's go, and I invited these cool people.
Oh, no, that's good, man. As a matter of fact, man, the number one universal law is love. God is love. You know, so love is the only thing that makes anything grow, like truly grow. Um, I think just any challenge I've had in my life and any major decision I've had to make, if I made it out of fear, like you said, like, oh no, I don't have enough money, so I'm gonna get this job. Oh no, I'm not good enough to do this, so I'm gonna go to this school. Matter of fact, can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm using these new headphones and they sound really funny.
You're all good, bro.
Yeah, awesome. You know, but when I make decisions out of love and like faith, I see so much more fruit, produced in my life. For instance, I just came back from my first day of school, and this was actually the school that was saying that I may not be able to attend, because of finances. But God opened the door. It was a miracle. I literally got a phone call last night from my director. It's a Bible school, so that's what you call their principal. They were saying, "Hey, somebody dropped out last minute. They just decided to drop out, and I told you, I'd give you my word that if there's somehow space, if God makes a way, we'll take you in since you have FAFSA." And somebody dropped out last minute. I'm talking about it's 10:30, guys, 10:30 at night. Somebody decides to just drop out. So I think just the reason I wasn't attached to that school, but I know the reason I wanted to go and finish the program to get my credentials through that school is because I just knew God wanted me there. So I knew that somehow a door would open. You understand? So just having love in mind, I didn't go to that school out of fear. And I didn't let that challenge me and be afraid. I just said, you know what? Whatever happens, happens. But at the end of the day, doors are going to open if I just focus on the positive. And doors open up. So
Congrats. Congrats.
yeah, thank you
Congrats.
guys, thank you. So
Congratulations on school. Yeah, just by keeping that attitude of they say no, and you're like, I'm going to that school. I don't care. It's like Napoleon Hill talks about when that inventor wanted to be with Edison. He didn't think like, oh, I could be with Edison or another inventor. I'm going to do it specifically with him. I'm going to work specifically with him.
right,
And took the same approach, and it worked. That's the approach I took with my band. I'm going to be a guitar player in a band. I'm going to do the show and become successful. I'm going to also do, work on my blog every day, which sometimes I suck at, but I'm still working on it. I don't give up.
Is that an opinion?
It's a
uh-oh,
fact. Well,
uh-oh.
it's my opinion, but it's a fact.
I seen you jamming. Don't try to pull my chain over there, Mr. Kareem. I seen you jamming. Uh,
Are you calling me out?
I
Yeah, he's
know,
calling you out, all right. That's a challenge right there.
and I know Chrysler, man. That is so awesome that that happened the way that did. That you went in there with a love instead of a fear, a love for why you wanted to be there, and all of a sudden you get what you want.
Right,
That is just incredible. Love,
right.
loving something and then getting what you want. That is just, it's just a miracle. That's what it is.
I mean, that's literally what it was. There's no other way to put it. I was already set on, okay, I'm not gonna go to that school. It's fine. Let's see what else is next. Kareem and I was discussing that. We're discussing that last week. But when you had that intuition and that feeling where you just know you're destined for certain things. So on that
Right.
day, he goes, "Hey, I'm gonna call you at this time and let you know." And then he ran late and something happened, so he calls at 10:30, lets me know that. That within itself literally is a miracle. And that's something that because I had love in mind, and I love what I do, and I love the vision that I believe God has put for me. No matter what obstacles come on the surface, doors open naturally within them, by themselves. So as opposed to fear, like a lot of people do, a lot of people my age go to college out of fear. Like, well, I got to do it because mom and dad say I got to do it. Even some people, they join MLM, like, or they start an MLM company and they think they're entrepreneurs, and they're trying to get prospects out of fear. Like, oh my gosh, no, I need 10 people so I can start making money. And you see how it really just detracts more than it does attract. When you love what you do, you may not get results yet, but it shows so much more fruit than it would if you just have fear. That's my opinion on that. Well,
That's what I used to do because I came from like my parents are like, well, if you don't go to college, you'll be working a job that's less than. So I'm like, oh, I got to go to college or I'll be like on the street giving out like I don't know, or asking, begging for money. And then I got into college and I made good money, but then I was watching all my friends actually like live their lives. The few that were entrepreneurial that I said, oh, they're gonna start their own business. What's wrong with them? And that's when I got into like blogging and Trailblazer and doing this for myself and realizing that an MLM, well, all those things are good. I have to do my own design, and it just felt right. Like I was the same way, Chrysler. I was in a bunch of different companies. Like, come on, guys, you got to buy this. Just buy a few of my products, jump on, and you have to do this. And I wasn't really thinking, like, it's a great opportunity. Why aren't they joining? Because I'm making a decision out of fear. Because I'm scared that if they don't join, I'll have to go back to work, and I'll be working forever. Instead of doing something I love and saying, people show up automatically. And then it totally changed. Like, I told Rick, hey, you want to hang out with some fun people? I told Carl, like, let's hang out. Or I just said, hey, Chrysler, whenever you got a chance, jump on. It'll be fun. And my life changed. It completely changed. And I do see that love really expands consciousness in that sense.
Yeah, Yash a good example, man. Because when you and Chris started Entrepreneurial Power Hour, I mean, you guys are happy. You guys are killing this thing.
Yeah.
And people are coming in because we want to share ideas. Like, you guys inspire me, we're inspiring each other. As opposed to, and I'm not dogging MLM or anything, but I'm not gonna lie, Chris has been, I'm not gonna go there, but you guys have been in that company for like, what, a year? And there wasn't a lot of results. And the fact that you say, you know what, I don't really love what I do, and I do have other passions, and because I have a heart of an entrepreneur and I love what I do and love people, let me do this thing. I mean, and look how, I see a new member there. I've never met her before, but hello, how you doing?
Hello.
It's Sarah.
Okay, Sarah. Okay, hello, Sarah. How you doing? Okay, awesome. So just stuff like this, just hanging out. So yeah.
Well, I feel passionate about just making a hangout where people could just speak their mind. And I thought that's important. Give everybody a voice. That's what the internet's supposed to do. That's what Facebook, Google, any platform you use on social media gives someone a voice where they didn't have it before. And finally, we can speak our, mind without anybody, like, bashing us unabashedly, I guess. And there's so much power to that, where before I was trying to sell products that weren't really even oriented to me. Like, I'm not saying I don't care about my health. I go to the gym and stuff. But selling health products, it's not truly in my heart. I hate to say that. I would do it, and I'm not against people who do it. But I'm not super passionate about, hey, you want to buy... It's like, I got stuff, it'll make you healthy. You want to be healthy? And they're like, nah, not really, I'm good. And it's not even my idea either. It's somebody else's company. It was somebody else's book. I had to do my own thing.
Right.
Yeah, this whole panel is kind of tuned to me as we're talking through it all. I'm realizing, some of my struggles. I need to do a little self-check on this, and I've been with my own business making a lot of fear-based decisions, and it's kind of been very frustrating. But it is. I'm just kind of continuously making a decision out of a fear that whatever I'm offering is going to be rejected. And I've lost a little bit of motivation, and so just sitting here and listening to all of you guys and remembering this is been good, been inspirational to be like, this is my problem. I'm doing it out of fear rather than out of the love for it. I gotta tap back into the love of what I'm doing.
That's awesome. I'm glad we could help you, because people are like, I can't blog, or I don't think, that's what I used to think, like, if I made a website back in the day, or if I made YouTube videos, that'd be selfish. Nobody's interested in seeing me. I'm not a celebrity, right? I'm not important, right? And I kept that mentality for so long, and I wish I would have started with 17, 18 instead of going to college. I was just like, hey, I'm Kareem, and I do these things. I play metal, and I play video games and do reviews on stuff. And I saw people were doing reviews and playing video games and making money from them. And I thought, oh, I would love to do that. Why didn't I start back then? And it was because I was afraid that I would be not viewed as narcissistic or nobody would care. And Sarah, just with the thing, I'm glad we could help you. Just keep making decisions that people are going to find what I do interesting. That someone, and it doesn't matter who will benefit. And when you get 2 or 3 people that believe in you, it starts to create like a monument, and just keeps going up and up and up until you have 1,000 people saying, I want your product, I want your show, I don't care what you're doing. I just want to be there for what you got, because what you've done has changed my life.
I think that, oh, go ahead, Cheryl. I think that Sarah is real. I don't know how old she is, but she's brilliant, and I have a lot of respect for her too, because she's going places. She's a smart lady. He kept a positive attitude. I know I met Chrysler on the show, and he really impressed me as a young individual, because he had some issues that weren't in his control. And I remember when you mentioned it to us, Chrysler, where you were, locked up for a while, and it wasn't that you were bad or anything like that. And you kept such a positive attitude, and he is like a monument to this show. I mean, that guy, I don't know how he did it, and I still don't know how he does it. I just love it when he gets on the show, because I like to try to figure out, how did he do that, and if you watch one of the previous shows, you'll see, because he tells his whole story, and he's very modest and very fascinating individual that makes a lot of decisions on love. That's why I like to watch him. All these guys do. Carl does too. And Sarah does too. You tell. Kareem does too.
Yes, Chrysler does. The thing is, we run through our life, and what I find is, like, for instance, in medicine, I have to have different procedures done, and I get this fear factor of it. I'm scared of what's going to happen, scared of the unknown. And that's one of the things that we have fear of. I had a fear of jumping on places like this and showing my face and talking. I had a fear of that. And then I got on here, and then I find love. I find people that care enough to listen to what I have to say, as where most don't. They usually don't want to hear what I have to say, but through this show and through the university and what have you, I've learned that people out there aren't always out to get me. That was one thing I was always feared of. Oh, they're out to get me for whatever reason. But I don't feel that here. I feel free to express myself, and that's what you guys want us to do. But a strange fear gets in the way of everything that we try to do. Whether it be business, fear about it. Oh, how am I going to get these blah, blah, blah people? It becomes a fear instead of coming at it as I love the public, and I want to offer them something. I want to help them, and they're feeling your love. Instead, they're feeling your fear. Fear of failure. They're picking up that fear. Oh, the guy's worried about failure. He's in a desperate situation. He needs me. Never, ever, ever let your people know that you need them. They need what you have, but
I noticed when I had to go back to work and after Rick got hit by lightning, I had a choice of having to go back and thinking, oh gosh, I have to go back and take a negative attitude towards it, and getting a job and doing things that I didn't want to do, or I could look at it positively and jump in there and do what I could do and help anybody out that I could. People, at first when I was looking for a job, I kind of had the negative attitude and nobody really wanted to hire me. But then when I went in and realized I am here to help them, I will do anything that I can. And it doesn't really matter what kind of job, I'm going to go and do whatever I could. And I happened to get a job that Rick found me on Craigslist as a demoing wine lady.
We don't drink.
And we don't drink. But I was a very good wine lady. I put everything into it that I could, and I kept a positive attitude. And then I had to get another job at the same time. And yeah, because he wasn't able to. He was sick and he didn't feel good. So I got another job at the same time. But they both worked out simultaneously together, and I had a good job because I knew that I was there to benefit them, and I wasn't there in a fear-based thing thinking, oh my God, I need this job in order to pay all the bills. I was there to say, okay, what can I do to help you, and you will help me in return. So keeping that positive attitude, Carl, like you said, really makes a big difference.
Well, they pick up your desperation. You become like a desperado, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm almost begging you for this job. You can't be that way. Or, I'm almost begging you to sign up for my company. Try these products. No, if the products aren't right, they're not going to buy them anyways. They know what they want. It's like when you go to a store, you pick up what you want. Sometimes you see things you don't need, you pick up too, but I'm going to the store because they have this list, but the list becomes twice as long by the time you leave. But anyway, that's here and there. But if you don't have people interested in buying what you have, say they're fearful of your company, your compensation, they're fearful of your matrices or whatever, I'm not going to join that. Well, they don't join that, they join the people. So if you're giving off a fear factor to them, they're going to say, he's in desperate measures. He needs me. Never show that they need you instead of the other way around. That's my idea. Thank you.
I know that's true because if you compare me to when I first started online, I just shot links out, told people to click on this, and it was out of fear. And now I just talk to people like, hey, I'm doing this thing where I bring entrepreneurs together, and I love it, and it's just a ton of fun. Or, hey, you want to hang out with some cool people, and they resonate with that. It's just a way to inspire people rather than to scare them. And if you can inspire people, if you can make them feel good, if you can make them feel love-based decisions instead of fear, that's huge value.
Yeah. I just got some news here, Kareem. Her mom's given her 2 bags of blood, and her aunt gave 2 bags of blood, and they don't know if...
You talking about Sarah?
Yeah, dude, she's in the hospital, Christ.
Oh, man.
That's only been a few hours. I don't know how long it takes. Rick, how long does it take platelets to start regenerating once you get a blood transfusion?
Gosh, I don't know. You would think that when they transfused her that much blood, that's like half the blood volume or something. You should be a new person by now.
Yeah, you'd think it would
Holy
start
crap.
changing around pretty much immediately.
Yeah.
No,
It would happen.
she's
Is she still not, Chris?
Sorry, Rick, what?
She's still not stable?
No, I don't know, dude. I don't.
Does she have a good blood pressure and all like that?
I don't know. Her cousin's English isn't very good. All I know is she's gotten 4 bags of blood, and I don't even know if her platelet count's getting any better.
Oh, it would have to, yeah. Definitely have to. If they're giving her whole blood, there's platelets in there from her family. That would be the best, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we just need to approach this with the best attitude
I'm
possible.
so scared, you guys.
I know, man. I know. It's not
I'm
easy.
sorry.
It's really not. It's alright, man. It's alright. Seriously. It's alright. Go ahead, let it out, man. No shame. She's gonna be alright, man. She's gonna be alright. Just hang in there, alright?
Yeah. It's just like with Chrysler with his school, like everyone said no and then it pulled through. And it's the way I'm gonna
I've
take
never
this.
loved anybody the way I love this woman in my life.
Yeah, I know. You know, my mother has.
She's the most wonderful thing that's ever happened to me. And even though she's in another country and we haven't met physically, it doesn't matter. My soul's with her, man. We talk every day, and I've come to know her very well. And we're supposed to be celebrating our 1-year anniversary today, and this is just it's not good, man. I'm sorry. I'm not.
Oh, you're good,
I don't
man.
even have the headspace to be.
No, you're good. Seriously, man. The serious stuff.
It is, man. I mean, all I know is she got the blood, and all I can do is just sit here and pray, pray that she's gonna pull through this, man. I mean, I don't know how bad dengue fever is. I mean, it's a tropical-borne illness from mosquito bites, and I have no clue how bad that can get. I don't have any idea. I'm kind of reading about it here, and what happens if blood platelets get too low. And I'm just
I think it's just like Rick said, it's not necessarily like he said there were people who go into the doctor's office and they're like, well, they're done, and then they walk out. And I think, no, she'll pull through, just like Rick was saying.
She will.
And it just, like we're talking about this topic even, just the best thing we can do now is keep a positive attitude and keep believing. It's gonna work
believe
out.
me, I'm trying my best here, man. But I mean, I can't even be there with her. That's the worst part about it.
Right.
Because I don't have the money to fly there right now, and or I'd be on a plane.
It's gonna be alright, man. Definitely keep it here in prayer. Seriously.
I know, Chrysler, you rock, man.
I don't know, but let it out. I know it's real. I know, like, it's not easy to talk all this positive stuff when the moment is really there, so feel it, man, because it's really love, but it's gonna be alright. It is. Just hang in there, alright? Don't feel bad at all, man. Go ahead and let it out. You love that girl.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the topic's about, is love and fear.
Yeah, man.
I mean, there's nothing any different than what's going on right now. That's what he's feeling.
Yeah.
He loves great death, and he's got a fear of losing her. So that's the topic.
Literally. Yeah.
And so hitting the topic is just it's literally showing he's got emotions. Everybody has, and you got to express those emotions. You got to get them out of here.
Yeah, this isn't a business hangout. It's a place where people can actually be who they are, what they are. It's not about telling people what to say or what to feel, or this is a business hangout where I'm like, you have to act this way, because that never works.
I'm just devastated right now. I don't know what to think. Someone's at my door. Hold on, please.
But yeah, I think from working Chrysler though, especially what you guys said about making the impossible possible. Uh, and I'm not super spiritual, but I mean, if people thousands of years ago were doing that in ancient books, making the impossible possible, I don't see why we can't do it now. What do you
Right.
think, man?
It's almost like Michael Belohi. I mean, I don't want to bring up that particular one, but he had an unmovable faith about putting the hay out, about the daughter's wedding, about the rain. You know, he loved his daughter so much, he wanted that to go over with no hitches, no rain. And everybody that came in there said, "Oh, it's going to rain. Oh, it's going to rain." But it didn't rain because he had that faith, the love, and of the which our God is love.
Hmm.
He loved them so much, he made sure that it didn't rain.
Yeah, and I was reading a similar story, and actually this is in a hospital. There used to be, from what I understand, people who practice this art of Qigong. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's kind of a martial art, kind of a healing style. So it's a little bit different than like traditional Western martial arts, where these doctors or these people, healers, whatever you want to call them, didn't use any surgery or any medicine. I'm like, how? That doesn't make any sense. You'd think if someone's sick, you'd have to like be like Rick and cut them open and give them tons of meds. Which I'm not discounting Western science medicine because I've had a surgery myself. So, but these guys actually, what they would do, someone would come in with an illness, and they would get in the feeling of the mindset so powerful that they would say like a word like already healed. And I know that this sounds crazy, but from what I can gather, they would actually heal people by putting themselves in a mental state that that person was no longer sick. And am I saying like I can naturally do that, or if I get sick, I'm not going to go to the doctor? No. But reading studies where people actually change how they're feeling, their like belief about something, and changed an outcome, that's powerful. And I think that's really the power of love. That's like the power that, and I'm not going to go biblical or religious or on Islam here, that people really say when like, God help me this, they really changed the way they felt. Like just they could feel the presence of having that thing. Because really, why does anybody do anything? So they'll feel a certain way. And if you can feel that way before you have something, sometimes it comes into your life. So that's my little rant.
Oh, that's good, man.
That's good, man.
I like that. I worked for a Harvard surgeon, worked with a Harvard surgeon one time. He was like Robert Meislowick, and he was an orthopedic surgeon, and he was the most brilliant doctor that I've ever seen in my life. He would tell everybody, you don't need surgery. People heal themselves. He would do the fastest surgery in the world on everybody and tell them the least that you do and the more that you tell them that you do, the faster that they're going to heal. He has the most incredible healing rate of all of his patients.
Placebo doctor.
Do a carpal tunnel surgery in 6 seconds. 6 seconds, you can't even bill that amount, So he understood healing as Western medicine doesn't do any healing at all. All we do is like put a Band-Aid on it or cut something off so it doesn't work anymore, or we give you drugs. I don't subscribe to that anymore, but they give you drugs that have more contraindicated therapeutic values. You guys know that. There's no cure in Western medicine. It's a treatment. You have to go to like Qigong or Reiki or something like that to actually cure yourself. You won't get a cure from Western medicine. You'll get drugs and they'll cut. I know because I did it for 25 years. They ain't cutting me and giving me drugs, I tell you that. I know.
Name drug pushers? Name drug pushers?
Oh boy. But
Wow.
yeah, that's crazy. Someone healed carpal tunnel in like 6 seconds just by not doing really anything. And I think that's
right.
because he's operating out of love. He's like, this person will get better. This person will recover. But everybody else said it's impossible. Well, they'll recover. But then somebody comes along and says, well, look at the look at the statistics. And I'll tell you a funny story I read. It's a study from a doctor. I'm trying to think of his name. It's not coming to me. But he does studies on optimism. And he studied pessimists and he studied optimists. And he's found when given a task or given data that a lot of people would who are pessimists would always be more accurate. If you give them a task or statistics, they'll look at statistics, and they would say something like, okay, well, 3 out of 4 people fail in business. 1 out of 2 people get a divorce. I shouldn't get married. I shouldn't get in business. It's likely it won't work. An optimist would look at the same numbers and fail a bunch of times, except unlike the pessimists, they would say, oh, I did bad, but I'll do better next time. Or, I did great, I'll do even better next time. They BS themselves. And while pessimists ended up being more accurate, since optimists BS themselves a little bit, they outperform the pessimists almost in every case. So I'm not saying you should be either optimistic or pessimistic beyond reach. And I know, Marty, like, Qigong necessarily won't save you from arsenic, or like, Western medicine can help. But there's different alternatives you can explore to do something. That's all I'm saying.
I gotta step out here. I have to go. I just gotta say that it's been wonderful being on here and chatting with you all. And Chris, I have so much empathy for you, and just do the best that you can to keep up as good of an attitude that you can. Because even like, fear versus love, the fear you're feeling right now is out of love. So it's not one or the other all the time.
Thank you.
That's good.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Sarah. That was awesome.
Come back.
Have a good one.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Aloha.
Yeah, man. Just a quick thing I want to share.
Sure.
If you guys have the time, which you probably do, check out Todd White on YouTube. It's TODDWHITE, Todd White. And this guy, he is a Christian, but this guy is, just a rather far from religious, like myself. Just loves Jesus, loves people. This guy, 10 years, drug addict his whole life, grew up in a Masonic homes, hated people, hated life, suicidal, all that. Give his life to Christ, and a lot of his videos are this. He literally just goes out and tells people, he just loves on people. He goes, God loves you, bro. People will be like, get the F out of my face. I don't care. Dude, it's all right, bro. It doesn't matter, man. Let me just pray for you. This guy has dreads, full beard, so it looks like your typical hipster. And that's just how he attracts people. People go, dude, I don't believe in God, man. I don't care. It's like, dude, it doesn't matter, man. He loves you so much. You don't even know. I don't care. Let me just pray for you. And he has so much faith and love in his heart. And this is what he's really known for. He's known as the street evangelist. He doesn't even consider himself that. He considers himself normal. He goes, this is normal Christianity, the way Jesus did it. Just go out and love people. It's not even about converting. Just go out and love them. And he will pray for people and they will be healed on the spot. And he will share a lot of stories in church. He would say, a lot of those people didn't even believe. I'll be like, I don't care. My motive is not to say the right thing. My motive is not to make them believe what I believe. I just believe enough that they'll be healed because Jesus says I can. So they go, if I pray for them, they'll be healed. And
I like that.
90% of the time, people always get healed. They be like, what the heck, bro? They'll start cursing and everything. They'll be like, yeah, man, Jesus loves you, bro. I'm telling you, man. Have a good day. And most of the time, they go out. Some of them, of course, they weep. And, oh, my gosh, this is so real. And some of them, they still go out and do drugs right after getting their leg healed or their knee healed. But he doesn't care. He continues to love. And that guy, man, what? Oh, when I saw that guy on YouTube, man, Todd White,
Yeah.
man, check him out. This guy's a real deal. I was like, yo, this guy's really inspired. And I think just an example, because I am a Christian, but there are a lot of people modern Christianity or just religion in general. It's like they just want to say the right things, and it's kind of this motive out of fear, which I think is why a lot of people are not drawn to Jesus. When in reality, it's just about loving people, being authentic, being yourself. They're just walking in love. You know, I hang out with people that don't believe a lot, and that's cool. I'm in the hood, loving people, hanging out with people, showing people love, and they may not receive what I say, but my motive is not for them to believe what I believe. I just want to spread love. But like Carl said, sometimes people can feel your fear and insecurity. It's like you want to get through somebody. Okay, what should I say? How should I explain about the Bible? Oh, they don't believe. What should I say next? Oh my gosh, how do I say the right thing? And it's like, bro, relax, man. Just love. Just love
It's
with
not an
somebody.
MLM.
You
Like,
know?
it's not about, like, I recruited this many people, I'm good. I think if you really look at history, you'll see that Buddha was not a Buddhist, Muhammad was
Yeah.
not a Muslim, Jesus was not a Christian. I'm not saying any of the. I'm not saying like any religions are bad. I don't want to even bring it. But what did spiritual teachers really teach? They taught love, and they taught to love one another. And if you really love someone and believe in them, put time in them,
Yeah.
they'll be interested in what you're doing. That's how me and Chris got interested. He wasn't talking about like, oh, if you do this, you can make $2 billion in a day, like everybody else
Right.
was. They would come to me and be like, join this, and you'll make 10,000. I'm like, I'm good. They're like, well, get back to me if you're ever interested. And me and Chris just BS'd a bunch, and I'm like, oh, he really cares about me and what I'm doing. I care about him and what he's up to. And it all comes just from that like, what can we learn from spirituality? That these teachers, like you're saying, just taught love. Go out and love somebody, go out and care. And then that's what will really get them to be interested in you as a person, an entrepreneur or Christian or whatever you're doing, because you're like, oh, that guy really gives a damn about me if I live or die, if I'm sick or not.
That's why I'm here, Kareem. That's why I'm here, because of the feelings that I feel. I only go places that make me feel good. If I don't feel good about it, I don't want to go there. Okay? Um, just saying. I was in search for many, many years of the love that is out there. Always looking for the love and always finding people that have an agenda issue. And therefore, it puts you into a fear factor. Do I want to get into another relationship because of that fear factor? And that's where I am right now. I've been married 3 times. Every one of them failed for whatever reason. Doesn't really matter. But at the point that I didn't own my own mind, I let everybody else own it. Because I loved everybody else so much that I just gave it up freely. I didn't even think about it. I just loved them, and I still do that. I love people so much that I'll go out there, and rather than myself being rich, which is kind of foolish, I'll boost somebody else up. It makes me feel good, brings my compassion level up, brings my love up. I love each and every one of you, or I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't waste my time. I wouldn't even bother. But it's not about that. It's about the feeling that I feel when I have people that will listen to me and that will understand what I say, as a lot don't, because they don't want to listen. You know, we have one mouth and 2 ears, but we never listen as much as we talk. So, but love and fear. You're so fearful of losing, so fearful of the unknown. You're so fearful of, are you going to be successful? And all that is just BS. You're going to say, I'm going to be. Or it's going to happen. And not to go biblical, but it said, lay hands on the sick and they shall recover. That's a faith. I was raised, and I searched many churches to find. I'm Pentecostal, and I'm proud of it. People don't like it, that's their issue. And I don't care what their issue is, but I do know that there's power in unity. Not just power in prayer, not just power in words, but in unity. Where one or more agree, he will be there also. When we agree, that she'll be fine. So, and we love, and we're sending that love. That's what he gave us to do. Love thy neighbor as you would thyself. Love. And so we can't let fear, which is developed by other sources of negativity, take away our positivity. Because when we start doing that, we're just like saying, all right, we're puppets now.
Yeah.
We're led around by the nose, and this is how we will be, and this is what we will do, and this is how we will say this. That's society.
Yes.
Society says that. It's like, oh, you can't have, you're 50-year-old, you can't have a 25-year-old. Society says, oh, that's robbing the cradle. Really? Really? I didn't know there was a difference in age as far as a love factor. You know, what does that have to do with it? It's a society judgment call.
Yeah, you're right, Carl. I just, I hope anybody watching this, if they're going through something similar to what I'm going through, then they're not alone. And, I'm just so messed up. I don't even know what to think. She got the blood. She's got 4 bags of blood in her, but
Well, one of the problems got overcame, sir. Didn't have the blood, now you do. One of them, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Get the blood in. So, you got to go with the positive. Be
Yeah,
thankful.
man.
Yeah. And I'll actually close the story with something that happened today to give you guys a little bit of maybe clarity. Sorry it's dark. My birds are trying to sleep. So. I was driving to Walmart today, and I was driving, I wasn't looking, and my neighbor had their mailbox open. Now, I wasn't looking, and my mirror pops out, the glass smashes, the thing falls out. And if you know me, anyone who knows me, is I'm good with technology. I'm not good with fixing cars. I'm terrible at that. So I go back, and it's one of my mirrors, so I need that to drive. So I go back in my neighbor's yard, pick up the glass. I'm like, crap, if I don't get this fixed, it's going to be difficult to drive my car. All these bad things will happen. I have no idea how to fix a car. I'm screwed. I'm totally screwed. So I drive down to Walmart, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. The guy, I was panicking a little bit, and then the guy showed me, okay, snap it in like this. I'm like, well, we have no glass. What do we do? He's like, go to the dealership. I'm like, I don't have time. That's 2 hours away where I got the car. I don't know why I did that. And he said, I don't know. And then right then I was like, I need a solution. There's a solution coming. One of his coworkers goes up, and he's like, if you put lipstick and you cut out this replacement window and do that, and I tried that didn't work. I'm like, and then he comes off with epoxy. He finally pops it in, gets it to work. I'm like, geez, that's the craziest thing ever. A problem I thought can never be fixed was fixed in a few, let's say, hours, or an hour and a half hour. And like Chrysler was saying, his mom pulled through after her surgery. I think we just, no matter what we do, is keep Chris's girlfriend in prayer, keep her in mind, and she'll pull through, and that, like Carl said, she got the blood and making steps towards getting through, pulling through. And Carl, I'm so impressed at your wisdom, and I'm glad we're doing this out of love, so you can actually, because you had so much wisdom that I never got to hear on the other programs. And you said because maybe you were scared or maybe you were worried somebody would ostracize you. And now to hear all your wisdom, it's really, really helping me. And because I just lost a friend recently, and it's really, really helping Chris. So keep that wisdom going, man, because people really need to hear that. You have a gift. It just was suppressed in the other places. But now you're paying me what I'm worth in the Power Hour. You have an awesome voice, so keep doing what you're doing. I'm going to do a quick call to action. So if you guys can see my screen, here's our website, theentrepreneurpowerhour.com, like it's spelled. And if you go here and type in your first name and your email address, sign up for our newsletter, you can know what our show's about and get a trailer on it. I want to thank Marty, even though he didn't have a mic, Chrysler, Chris, you're going through some tough times, Rick and Cheryl, and Carl and Sarah. And for all you entrepreneurs out there, if you're going through something rough, know that you are not alone. Does anybody have anything to add?
Yeah, I'm gonna need, you guys are incredible, and I thank you so much for your support, and I really hope you guys are right. And yeah, I'll keep everybody updated on what's going on.
Yeah, man. It's gonna be alright, man.
We send our love and positive vibrations.
Thank you.
Because it's all based on love.
Yeah.
We love each other. That's why we're together, so we can spend time with each other.
Yeah, man.
That's where all entrepreneurs should be.
I know.
They ought to be able to express themselves, let out their pent-up stuff. And as you said, I feel more comfortable here because of the people that I'm around. I don't feel like they're out judge me for whatever I've done and whatever I'm not doing. Instead, they're out there to encourage me, and that feels so much better. Feels so much better to be encouraged than put down. That's just my way of thinking. Because I've been put down so much that that's boring me to death. It's boring me to death.
So, this is a place where we don't put anybody down. I don't sit there and be like, you can't say this, you can't go there, blah, 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 because that's never going to help anybody. That doesn't educate you. It puts you in a box trying to control people. And I've actually learned that from taking natural law or God's law. When you try and control people, put the parking ticket on, tell them they're wrong, you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't engage in these activities. It limits their knowledge. Even if the activities aren't good. I'm not suggesting I condone doing something bad, but just allow people to speak their mind. If they say something good, something dumb, something educational, that's them, and that's who they're going to be. So with that, we will see you next Saturday, guys.